Comrades, please be seated.
We request all the comrades to be seated. Please be seated, sir.
Comrades can also occupy their seats in the balcony. We request all our comrades to please be seated. We request all our comrades to occupy their seats. Comrades, please take your seats. The program is about to commence shortly. அனைவருக்கும் காலை வணக்கம். Good morning, comrades. It's our pleasure and delight to welcome you all for the Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondi's 7th Triennial Conference and Diamond Jubilee celebrations in the capital city of Tamil Nadu.
Celebrate what you have accomplished, but raise the bar a little higher each time you succeed. Today is such a day to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee of our Indian Bank Officers Association and to further vitalize and scale up and exhibit the unity of Indian Bank Officers fraternity. It's a pleasure and delight to welcome you all for the Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondi's 7th Triennial Conference and Diamond Jubilee celebrations in the capital city of Tamil Nadu.
Our Indian Bank Officer Association was conceived and formed during 1963 that has grown manifold in its principles, ideology, and has mastered in persuasion of officers' well-being for the last 6 decades. To begin the day with, to encapsulate a journey and a legacy of our association, and to recite the role played by us, we are delighted to present a short film on IBOA's journey to this Diamond Jubilee.
Journey of IBOA and AIBOA. In 1960, the concept of trade unionism of officers sounded paradoxical. A trade union was not even in their imagination. Officers considered themselves management and kept themselves at a distance from the working class movement. Management used officers to perpetuate their interests without sharing any of the management's rights with the officers. They were subjected to rigid service conditions, coupled with indignities and injustices. No voice of protest could be raised as they were not united. In reality, they were a suffocated and depressed class. In 1963, a few officers formed an association in Indian Bank exclusively to cater to the needs and requirements. It was formed in Chennai under unitary setup in the name of Indian Bank Officers and Supervisory Staff Association on 26 August 1963 and was registered under the Trade Union Act of 1926. Indian Bank Officers and Supervisory Staff Association was accorded recognition by the management on 27th June 1975. Indian Bank Officers and Supervisory Staff Association was founded by Comrade T.S. Ramanujan. He was a congressman and was not an officer of the bank. He was the first president of the association. He was succeeded by Comrade K.S. Shastri. Comrade S. Subramaniam was the General Secretary of the association. Comrade M. Gopalakrishnan became the General Secretary of the association and led the association for a long time. He later climbed the ladder and served as our bank's Executive Director and Chairman cum Managing Director till 1995. In addition, he had the distinction of being the first Officer Representative Director in the bank's board. The unitary setup of the association was changed into a federal setup in the name and style of All India Indian Bank Officers Association AIBOA, held on 14th August 1977. The management of Indian Bank recognized the new body and recognition was accorded via an agreement dated 6th June 1978. Following the well laid down path, Indian Bank Officers Association was led by Comrade Srinivasa Raghavan, affectionately called by all as Ambi, Comrade Ramakrishnan, Comrade LSG Raghavan, Comrade KT Venkateshwaran, Comrade K. Chandrasekharan, Comrade C. Sundararajan, Comrade K.S. Gopinath and Comrade K. Rajendran as President of the Association. Likewise, after Comrade M. Gopalakrishnan, Comrade K. N. Kannan, Comrade N. Nachiyappan, Comrade T. T. Natarajan and Comrade R. Sridharan had led the association as General Secretary. Presently, Indian Bank Officers Association is led by Comrade S. Mohan Raj as President and Comrade R. Shekharan as General Secretary. Coming to the service conditions of the officers, Indian Bank officers were paid low salary as the bank opted for a 50% DA formula. At the same time, many other banks chose to pay a higher percentage of DA. Though there were 20 nationalized banks, the pay scales were not uniform, and to bring about parity and standardization of pay scales, the committee under the name Pillai Committee was appointed to formulate its recommendation and implement uniform salary structure. After hearing the various bank-level associations, Pillai Committee submitted its recommendations, which the Government of India accepted for implementation. The recommendations were favorable to some banks, like our Indian Bank, and for some major banks, it was not favorable. They went on agitation against the Pillai Committee recommendations. All India Indian Bank Officers Association welcomed the Pillai Committee recommendations, which was implemented in our bank in 1978. Subsequently, all banks implemented the recommendation and uniformity was achieved in respect of basic pay and other allowances. AIBOA has been one of the strong affiliates of AIBOC from its inception, and AIBOA is among the few affiliates who signed the first ever joint note on salary revision with IBA in 1984. On behalf of AIBOA, it is signed by Comrade K. N. Kannan. It is history now that the AIBOC has signed 8 joint notes so far on the salary revision. In every joint note, AIBOC has ensured that our working conditions and service conditions of officers were improved to absorb required talents from the market and to retain existing talents for the growth of the public sector banks. Our association's conferences were always graced by the apex leaders like Comrade Umeed Singh, Comrade L.V. Subramaniam, Comrade Godbole, Comrade Shanti Ranjan Sen Gupta, Comrade Shanta Raju, and others. In the same way, our association's functions and conferences used to be attended by our top management, which conveys that both the management and association pursue the path of the development of the bank, well-being of the officers' community, and cooperative industrial relations. After the stint of Comrade N. Gopalakrishnan as Officer Representative Director in our bank's board, the post was vacant for a long time. After that, Comrade S. Subramaniam, Comrade A. K. Jana, Comrade A. X. George, Comrade T. T. Natarajan, and Comrade Deepak Samant served as the Officer Representative Director on our bank's board. Comrade Rajagopal Reddy, Comrade Deepak Samant, and Comrade Jyotirmoy Roy had led AIBOA as its president. Our mother institution, Indian Bank, has gone through many ups and downs in its journey of over 115 years. But everybody knows that Indian Bank came into existence out of the Swadeshi spirit on 15th August 1907, just 40 years before India attained independence. In 1996, our bank suffered a huge loss of rupees 3,364 crores. The Government of India demanded all the unions and associations sign an MOU to facilitate the infusion of capital. All India Indian Bank Officers Association took the lead to form a united movement in the bank, with the participation of 3 officers' organizations and 3 employees' unions. Thus, yet another history was scripted by the associations and unions in Indian Bank, much before the formation of UFBU. A united movement was formed in the bank. Associations and unions signed 2 MOU, surrendering certain existing benefits and ensuring capital infusion to our bank. The turnaround of Indian Bank, its accelerated growth, and the merger of Allahabad Bank with the Indian Bank by the Government of India is a known story for all in the banking industry. As a result of the amalgamation of Allahabad Bank with Indian Bank, the All India Allahabad Bank Officers Association merged with All India Indian Bank Officers Association. As a result, All India Indian Bank Officers Association is now a mighty force of 20,000 plus officers in its fold, led by Comrade Ramnath Shukla as President and Comrade R. Shekharan as Secretary General. AIBOA extending an unstinted support to AIBOC in opposing amalgamation and privatization of PSBs, as only PSBs can ensure financial stability for the Indian economy. AIBOA has 13 federal units in its fold. IBOA UP and Uttarakhand, led by Comrade Ankur Mishra. IBOA Eastern Zone, led by Comrade Krishnendu Mukherjee. IBOA AP and Telangana, led by Comrade Satish Kumar. IBOA Bihar and Jharkhand, led by Comrade Sanjay Kumar Lat. IBOA Delhi and Rajasthan, led by Comrade Ravindra Singh. IBOA Maharashtra, led by Comrade Parabnand Kishore Rajaram. IBOA Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, led by Comrade Moses Pradeep Singh. IBOA Karnataka, led by Comrade B.K. Keshava. IBOA Odisha, led by Comrade Sambit Roth. IBOA Chandigarh, led by Comrade Sachin Katiyar. IBOA Kerala, led by Comrade Vinod Kumar. IBOA Ahmedabad, led by Comrade Advait Malhotra. Indian Bank, under the stewardship of our MD and CEO, Shri Shanti Lal Jain. Our executive directors, Shri Imran Amin Siddiqui and Shri Ashwani Kumar, has crossed the business milestone of rupees 10 lakh crores in the recent past. We thank the present and past leadership for steering us with a far-sighted vision while scaling our operations, emphasizing a healthy balance sheet with robust and vital parameters in every event, in every struggle, in every battle, be it for the growth of the institution or ensuring the welfare of the officers' community. The stamp of All India Indian Bank Officers Association is embedded and entrenched. It is needless to say, it is a major credit to Indian Bank Officers Association, as it is the major unit that has piloted the path of All India Indian Bank Officers Association at all times in this long journey. This is possible because IBOA and AIBOA strongly believe and are committed to the principle that the well-being of the staff flows from the well-being of the institution. On this absorbing and enthralling day of the 7th Triennial Conference, coupled with the Diamond Jubilee celebration, IBOA recommits itself to the welfare of the institution and equally to the interest of the officers' community, and resolves that in the journey ahead, IBOA and AIBOA will not waver, will not tire, and will not falter, and will overcome and win whatever hurdles may come in the way. Long live Indian Bank. Long live Indian Bank Officers Association. Long live All India Indian Bank Officers Association. Long live AIBOC. Red salute to all.
IBOA long live! Long live! Long live! IBOA long live! Long live! Long live! AIBOC long live! Long live! Long live! AIBOC long live! Long live! Long live! Indian Bank long live! Long live! Long live! Indian Bank long live! Long live! Long live!
That is really an energetic and inspiring flick. Appreciation to the comrades. Indian Bank Officers Association has achieved this glorious feat only with the guidance of our veteran leaders. Now, it's time to seek the choicest blessings and wishes from our veteran leaders. Let's hear from them virtually.
நமது இந்தியன் வங்கி அதிகாரிகள் சங்கத்திற்கு உதவி செயலாளராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டேன். அப்பொழுது நான் திருச்சியில் வேலை செய்து கொண்டிருந்தேன். அதன் பின்னர் சென்னைக்கு மாற்றலாகி படிப்படியாக முன்னேறி துணை பொதுச் செயலாளர், பின்பு பொதுச் செயலாளராக நான் 1994 கோஆப் செய்யப்பட்டேன். நான் பொதுச் செயலாளராக இருந்த பொழுது நமது அதிகாரிகளுக்கு முதன்முறையாக கன்வேயன்ஸ் வாங்கி கொடுத்தேன். அதன் பின் வீட்டு வாடகையில் முன்னேற்றம் செய்தோம். அதேபோல் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் ப்ரமோஷன்ஸ், இன்டர்வியூ இல்லாமல் ப்ரமோஷன், 2 to 3 கூட இன்டர்வியூ இல்லாமல் ப்ரமோஷன், 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 2 முறை ப்ரமோஷன் பதவி உயர்வுக்கு சென்று தேர்வு பெறாதவர்கள் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக வரும் நிலையில் நமது சங்கம் முன்காலத்தில் இருந்தது போலவே இப்பொழுதும் அதிகாரிகளுக்கு என்ன தேவையோ அதை சரியான முறையில் சரியான நேரத்தில் வாங்கி கொடுத்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். ஆனால் அனைத்திலுமே நல்ல இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கிறது. திறம்பட நடத்தி இப்பொழுது 60வது வருஷத்தை எட்டியிருக்கிறார்கள் என்று நினைக்கும் பொழுது மிகவும் சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கிறது. இப்பொழுது மாநாடும் நடக்க இருக்கிறது. அந்த மாநாடு சீருடனும் சிறப்புடனும் நடைபெற எனது இதயங்கணிந்த நல்வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். எனக்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்ததுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி.
இந்த சங்கத்தோடு எனக்கு 45 ஆண்டுகால நீண்ட தொடர்பு இருந்தது. தற்பொழுது முன்பு நமது பெருமைக்குரிய சங்கத்தின் 60வது ஆண்டு விழாவும் அதை ஒட்டி 7வது ட்ரேனியல் கான்ஃபரன்ஸும் நடைபெற உள்ளது என்பதை கேள்விப்பட்டு மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். இந்த சூழ்நிலையில் நாம் எல்லோரும் ஒன்றுபட்டு செயல்பட்டு அலகாபாத் பேங்கும் நம்மோடு இணைந்திருந்த காலகட்டத்தில் நமது சங்கம் பெருவளர்ச்சியை பெற்றிருக்கிறது. எண்ணிக்கையிலும் சரி, கிளைகளிலும் சரி. இந்த வளர்ச்சிக்கேற்ப நமது சங்க நிர்வாகிகள் பெரும் பொறுப்பேற்று மிகுந்த ஈடுபாட்டுடன் செயல்பட்டு வருவதை பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு பழைய காலத்து சங்க செயல்பாட்டார் என்ற முறையிலே எனக்கு மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சியாகவும் பெருமையாகவும் இருக்கிறது. நிகழ்வுகளும் மிகவும் வெற்றிகரமாக அமைய நான் என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்களையும் பாராட்டுக்களையும் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
Good morning, dear comrades. I am Sridhar, retired in the year 2014 from of the bank and also from the service of our dear Indian Bank Officer Association, Tamil Nadu and Pandi, serving as the General Secretary in the year 2014 at the time of my retirement. It is imperative and need of the hour that we look back into the history of our association, the path our association has travelled during these 60 years, the path of sacrifices, the path of turbulence and turmoils, the path of sagacity and sacrifices contributed by our leaders who faced the onslaught of the government and the management to ensure the and secure the safety and service conditions of our officers. Right from my day one to the day of retirement, serving in various capacities, and I am blessed to note that I continue to enjoy the love and affection of all of our comrades even now today. Comrade Segaran, the General Secretary of Indian Bank Officers Association in Tamil Nadu and Pandi, and my dear good friend, he is the man of the movement today. He is in the center stage of our trade union activities, carrying the mantle of leadership in a very, very vibrant and bold manner during the last 6 years. I can say with confidence that the interest of our officers and the interest of our association is more than anything else to Segar, and he will not rest till the goals of association is achieved. He is a very, very committed leader, and we are fortunate that such a man is there at the helm of the affairs to carry the association in the next phase of the movement. I am very happy that our association is celebrating the Triennial conference and also the Diamond Jubilee celebrations. I wish the conference, the Diamond Jubilee celebrations, all the best. Thank you, my dear comrades. Wish you best of luck to every one of you. Thank you.
I am T.T. Natarajan. I was in this great organization as General Secretary for a long period of 18 years, and 1st of January, Sri Rajagopal took charge as Chairman and Managing Director of the bank. He has declared a huge loss in the year 1996, and bank has faced so many hurdles, and we were not having any time to breathe also. A lot of criticisms were there from the media, public, and there was a move to close down the bank also. So we, from the association, we thought that we should play a role, very active role, to not only to safeguard the members, but also to the bank also to be saved. So we thought that shedding away all our differences among the unions and association, we wanted to form a joint forum. Accordingly, all the unions and associations came forward and we formed a joint forum. I was happy to inform you that I was the convener. First and till my retirement, I was the only convener, continued with the same position. And we have motivated all the comrades, the award staff, officers, everybody to go a mile away for the cause of the bank. The leaders of all unions and associations thought that it is our prime duty to see first bank is saved. Accordingly, we had several rounds of discussions and we have offered many sacrifices to the bank to increase the profit. We conducted meetings at various parts of the country and motivated our members not to incur into any expenditure and curtail our expenditure, sign an MOU with the management, and again we signed a second MOU. Comrades, the bank, we fought tooth and nail for the sake of the bank to get the capital, which was the duty of the government to infuse normally, because it is a government owned bank. But after getting our signature commitment only, they infused the capital. And thereafter, there was no looking back. We have been marching forward, going ahead, and year after year. If you go in deep, see the root of this success story, the role played by the unions and associations, particularly the elder brother role played by Indian Bank Officers Association, only was responsible for this turnaround. And now I am happy that this organization is coming for the 60th celebration. I know this organization is a more vibrant and well-knit organization with the added strength from Allahabad Bank comrades. This bank organization will go stronger and stronger in the coming days.
I am extremely glad to note that Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry is celebrating its 7th Triennial Conference on the 28th of this month. The origin of this organization dates back to 1963, it is a matter of great augury and happiness that this association was formed even before State Bank of India has formed its Officers Association. This was initially founded by one Mr. Ramanujam, who was a Congress person, and he was not a bank officer. The founders of this organization had a great foresight, and they could foresee that any trials and tribulations that the organization faces, the association will stand by the same. This could be seen from the first bylaw of this association under the caption Objectives. Difficulty that the bank has faced in the year 1996, when the bank declared a loss of 3,664 crores. Everybody thought that the institution, the last word has been said about this association. Indian Bank Officers Association, which is the major unit of All India Indian Bank Officers Association, which is a recognized union for officers in the bank, came forward to sign an MOU and also convinced all other organizations in the bank to come forward and sign the MOU. As Government of India put up a precondition that only if all the unions and associations sign the MOU, capital will be infused to the bank. After a lot of deliberations, after a lot of discussions, after a lot of persuasions, the first MOU was signed, and that was followed by another MOU. And the bank has got the required capital. Today, when you think of the bank, it is in its accelerated growth of glory and success. The objective, any trade union has got its own role. For the Officers Association, it is the main issues are transfers, promotions, and ensuring improvement in other service conditions. But transfer and promotions are regulated by the association through signing of the policies, so that equity and fair play is ensured. But the Officers Association has got a special role of standing by the officers at the time of crisis. When they are issued with an explanation, when they are issued with a charge sheet, they are to be defended, because the circumstances under which, except their actions which are deliberately malified, and people indulge in that. In all other cases, association comes to the rescue of officers and help them to come out of this problem. I feel that this is the most important task of the organization, because if an officer does not get a transfer, he can put up with the situation and he can try later. Likewise, if an officer did not get a promotion, he can try for another chance. But if something happens on the vigilance front, unknowingly the officer lands in a problem, he has to be helped. That is the most important role of your organization. And it is a matter of great pleasure and augury that Indian Bank Officer Association, which is the major unit of All India Indian Bank Officers Association, has piloted and came forward and in the merger process of both the Officers Association, that is Officer Association from Indian Bank as well as Officer Association from Allahabad Bank. So with this submission, I take this opportunity to wish this conference a great success. I am sure this organization will not stop, because this organization has stood this test of time for 60 years and it has never faltered, it has never wavered, it has never tired, and it has always looked upon towards progressive growth of the organization.
Vanakkam Thodargalé. Good morning, comrades. It's really a great and happy moment to me to reach out to you all through digital platform. A new novel method of reaching member and greeting on this occasion is a wonderful experience. ஏறக்குறைய இது ஒரு முப்பெரும் விழா மாதிரி நமக்கு. நம் தாய் திருநாட்டின் 75வது சுதந்திர தின மாதம், நம் தாய் வங்கியின் 115வது ஃபவுண்டேஷன் டே மாதம், நம் சங்கம் துவங்கிய வைர விழா மாதம். இது சாதாரணமாக இது மாதிரிலாம் அமையாது. இது இப்படி ஒரு முப்பெரும் விழாவில் நம்ம சந்திக்கிறது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமான விஷயம். Some of my feelings I would like to share all of you through this media, and able to clinch better leased accommodation, home loan improvement, and extension of all benefits to the probationary officers and many more. And thereafter, due to the cordial relationship and understanding with the management, able to clinch many welfare issues continuously. Even in one of the meetings held at Image, I listed out 16 welfare measures initiated by the management at our request. And all the 16 happening in the 1 month, one welfare measures at a month. Like that, it has happened continuously. I was one of the signatory in the 10th biparty settlement, wherein 2nd and 4th Saturday off were clinched. East or West, Indian Bank is the best. North or South, IBOA Tamil Nadu Pondicherry is strong. With these few words, I once again conveying my sincere thanks to the organizers for having given me a wonderful opportunity and wishing the 7th Triennial Conference of IBOA Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry a grand success.
It was heartwarming and rewarding to hear from our veterans, which will definitely uplift our spirit. Thank you, comrades. During the COVID pandemic, we have lost few of our comrades whose contribution to the bank and association is immense. Now, it's time to pay homage to our staff members who were the victims of COVID. I request you all to rise and to pay our respect and homage for 2 minutes.
We thank our honorable guests and comrades. Please be seated. Moving on to the agenda of the day, we request our comrade S. Mohan Raj, President, Indian Bank Officer Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondi, to please arrive to the stage. Now, we are going to welcome our chief guest and guest of honor to the stage. Now, we welcome to the stage our beloved Managing Director and CEO, Sri Shantilal Jain sir, to the stage. We welcome our Executive Directors, Sri Imran Amin Siddiqui sir and Sri Ashwani Kumar sir, to the stage. Now, it's time to welcome our own leaders to the stage. Please give a round of applause while we welcome Comrade Murali Soundararajan, President, IBOR. Comrade Somedetta, General Secretary, IBOG. Comrade Ramnath Shukla, President, AIIBOA. Comrade R. Shegaran, General Secretary, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondi. Comrade SP Chandrasekhar, Chairman of Reception Committee.
Thank you, comrades. To begin with, may I request you all to raise for the Tamil Thai Varthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டனிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you all. To further enhance the exuberance and to light up the propious spark, I request our chief guest, guests of honor and leaders in the dais to light the Kuttuvilakku. We also request our veteran leaders to join for lighting the Kuttuvilakku. Comrade C. Soundarajan, Comrade T.T. Natrajan, Comrade K. Chandrasekharan, Comrade K.T. Venkateshwaran, Comrade Nachiyappan and Rajendran and Sridharan. Thank you all. Sincerity and the truth are the basis of every virtue. Now I request our sincere and truthful leader, Comrade S. Mohan Raj, President of Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu, to please deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, comrades. Thank you for all your presence here. Our association, the Indian Bank Officer Association, Tamil Nadu Pondi, is stepping into its 60th year. The association was raised on 26 August 1963. We are commemorating this 60th anniversary along with the 7th Triennial Conference of the association today. On behalf of IBOA Tamil Nadu and Pondi, I take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this great historical event being held in this historical city which has modern day history of at least 400 years. I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Sri Shantilal Jain sir, our beloved Managing Director and CEO. I welcome our guest of honor, Sri Imran Amin Siddiq and Sri Ashwani Kumar, Executive Directors of the bank. Hopes of our bankers fraternity are here. I extend a warm welcome to our leaders and beloved comrades, Comrade Soumya Datta, General Secretary, and Comrade Murali Soundarajan, President of IBO. On this occasion of grand celebration of Diamond Jubilee of Indian Bank Officer Association, we have amidst us the most appropriate people, the veteran leaders and pioneers of our association. I extend a warm welcome to our former President, Comrade K.T. Venkateshwaran, fondly called as KTV, Comrade K. Chandrasekharan, Comrade C. Sundarajan, Comrade K. Rajendran. I also welcome our former General Secretaries, Comrade Nachiyappan, Comrade TTN, who is better known as TTN than with his name TT Natarajan, and Comrade R. Sridharan. The association was built by these comrades for well over 30 years during these most difficult times of the trade union movements in the banking industry. I extend a warm welcome to our general managers, zonal managers, and other executives. We have the president of All India body, our beloved Comrade Ramnath Shukla. A warm welcome to you, comrade. I also extend my arms of welcome to our fellow leaders of federal organization who come from the length and breadth of the country. I extend a warm welcome to our leaders of fraternal trade unions in other organizations, in the other banks of the industry. I also extend a warm welcome to leaders of AIBA and our All Indian Bank SC/ST Employees Welfare Association, Comrade Babu, and E. Arunachalam, General Secretary AIBA. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate and commemorate and cherish the struggles and achievements of officers' trade union movement in our bank and in the banking industry. At the same time, we will take direction from here and take the movement forward in our mission to protect the public sector banks and safeguard the public sector banking in the country. Thank you, God bless. Once again, welcome you all.
Thank you, Comrade President. Now, it's time to felicitate our chief guest and guest of honor.
Now I request our Comrade R. Shankaran, Sekharan, General Secretary, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondi, to felicitate our beloved MD and CEO, Sri Shantilal Jain, sir.
I request Comrade Chandrasekhar, Treasurer of IBOA Tamil Nadu and Pondi, to felicitate Comrade Murali Soundararajan, President of IBOC.
I request Comrade Balaji, Joint General Secretary, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondi, to felicitate Shri Imran Amin Siddiqui Sir, Executive Director of Indian Bank. Comrade Balaji.
We request Comrade Kali Tithan, Vice President of Indian Bank Officer Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondi, to felicitate Sri Ashwani Kumar Sir, Executive Director, Indian Bank.
We request Comrade Mohan Raj, President IBOA Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, to felicitate Comrade Soumya Datta, General Secretary IBOC. I request Comrade Tyagarajan, Vice President, to felicitate Comrade Ramnath Shukla, President AIIBOA.
Thank you, comrades. Now, it's our profound duty to felicitate our veteran leaders of IBOC and our fraternal association leaders. I request Comrade Shegran and Comrade Mogan Raj sir to felicitate the leaders.
Comrade Nachiyappan, former General Secretary, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. Comrade K.T. Venkateshwaran. Whether all these persons have came, can you confirm so that Comrade T.T. Natarajan, former Director, Indian Bank, former Secretary General, AIIBOA. Chandrasekhar. Comrade. It's a great pleasure and honor to have you amidst us, sir. We welcome our Honorable Minister of Finance, Human Resources Management of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan, to our 7th Triennial Conference and Diamond Jubilee celebration. You are a great inspiration to all of us, sir. Welcome, sir. You are a great inspiration to all of us, sir. Under your able governance, we are sure that Tamil Nadu will become the powerful state on the financial front. He was an ex-banker, sir. We request Comrade Shekaran, sir, to felicitate our Finance Minister, PTR Palanivel Thiagarajan.
Thank you, comrades. A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Can we please cheer and welcome one such leader, Comrade R. Shekaran, General Secretary of Indian Bank Officer Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondi, and Secretary General of AIIBOA, to deliver the introductory address.
respected Honorable Finance Minister Shri PTR, our respected MD and CEO, our executive directors, my beloved General Secretary, Comrade Somidatta, and President Murali Soundarajan, and my own presidents, Comrade Ramnath Shukla, Comrade Mohan Raj, and the reception committee chairman and secretaries, the veteran leaders, and the galaxy of the leaders from the bank, and my dear comrades. 7th Triennial Conference and Diamond Jubilee celebration is an historical event for the officers' movement in the Indian Bank and the banking industry. I dedicate this Diamond Jubilee celebration and 7th Triennial Conference to the founder leaders of our association and the veteran leaders who have assembled here, my former office bearers, the present office bearers, the past members and present members, the leaders who have assembled here. With their selfless sacrifice, they ensured the well-being of the institution and well-being of the members. Comrades, be silent. Comrades, the journey of trade union is full of thorns and hardship. The stages it has crossed: outright suppression, limited acceptance, then general recognition. The enactment of Trade Union Act 1926 and the enactment of Industrial Dispute Act 1947 has given flip to the trade union movement. The later part of independence, government realized that the industrial peace would not be possible or difficult without the cooperation of the trade unions. This led to establishment of tripartite and bipartite bodies at different levels. Later, National Commission on Labour recommended recognitions of union and they listed rights of the recognized associations. The recognized association can negotiate with the management and reach agreement. The recognized association can give call for strike. The recognized association nominate the workers' representative for statutory bodies. Comrades, in Indian Bank, the officers' unions have started with the realization that individual dispensability and collective indispensability, and to gain the bargaining power to improve the service condition and working conditions for the officers. From that day, there is no going back for the officers' movement. In the industry, you are all aware, IBOC has signed 8th joint note. In each joint note, it is ensured the improvement of the service condition and working conditions. We have ensured 2 times we have got the pension option. PLI we have got, 2 Saturday holidays we have got, and we have got the family pension also. In Indian Bank, our association has won over many focus sites, one after another. I cannot say it is at par with the peer banks, but our management is with open mind. They want to improve the benefits. Our MD and CEO may have some good news in store for all of us. Comrades, in the banking industry, the banks, they are increasingly using the digital platform to increase the speed and efficiency for the customer services. But despite the banking products are digitalized, the customer footfalls is going on increasing in the bank because the government wants to include every transaction and every people in the banking net. The people are increasingly using the digital payment services as Google Pay, Phone Pay or Paytm. Ultimately, for the failed transaction, they are coming to the branches to ensure that their money they are getting back. Similarly, the BNA, which is not accepting the scribbled notes, then the customers are comfortable in depositing the cash at the cash counters. I can go on listings. list the customers why they are thronging at the branches. Comrades, our officers and staff members, they are taking care of 10 crore customers at the branches. Their hands to be strengthened. Strengthening their hands is nothing but strengthening the bank hand. Hence, they have to be adequately staffed. Hence, I request our management to go for recruitment every year so that it will ensure the prosperity of the bank and the prosperity of the staff members. With regard to the privatization and other industrial issues, our apex level leaders will throw more light. Only one point I want to touch. The government, the privatization of the public sector bank is not as easy as the privatization of the other public sector enterprises. The classic example is IDBI Bank. The government trying to dilute its share from the year 2016, but it could not find the potential buyer. They could not sell to the corporates because the RBI is not letting them. They could not sell to the private equity firms because RBI norms is not permitting. They could not sell to the foreign firms. The foreign banks don't want to follow the RBI stringent norm. For this reason, the IDBI privatization is dragging down. Hence, the privatization is not at all possible. The public sector banks only can ensure the financial stability for the Indian economy. Hence, we should not be complacent. We should be ready for any kind of struggle to protect the public sector character of the PSBs. Comrades, our associations always reaching out to the members to know the members' issues, to know the members' problem, to resolve the members' issues so that the institution interest will be taken care, institution prosperity will be taken care, and members' prosperity also will be taken care. With this, I conclude, comrades. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Comrade General Secretary. Great bosses honor relationships, inspire excellence, ensure welfare, and steer teamwork. Comrades, it's our pleasure to welcome our chief guest for the day, Managing Director and CEO of our bank, Shri Shantilal Jain sir, to deliver his address.
Honorable Minister for Finance, Tyagarajan sir, my colleague on the board, Sri Imran ji, Ashwani Kumar ji, Comrade Murali Sundarajan, President IBOC, Comrade Soumya Datta, General Secretary AIBOC, Comrade Ramnath Shukla, President AIIBOA, Comrade R. Sekharan, Secretary General AIIBOA, Comrade S. Mohan Raj, President IBOA, General Managers, Executives of the bank, and all the office bearers, and all members of Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and in fact, all India. Vanakkam and good morning to you all. I am immensely pleased to be a part of this historic 7th Triennial Conference and a Diamond Jubilee celebration of Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. To begin with, I would like to thank all our employees, all our stakeholders for the relentless efforts made by them and giving unstinted support to these testing times. I also congratulate all the entire staff for the spectacular quarterly one performance of our bank. It is good to know that the employees of the banks are reaping the benefits of the efforts of bank through these associations. I feel immensely delighted to be here again amidst the vibrant members of Indian Bank here. So let me come to the business performance. The bank is continuously on the growth trajectory, both in balance sheet and in profitabilities, and we are maintaining 7th positions in the industry among the public sector space. though we are 7th in business performance, we are virtually second in our capital adequacy, net NPAs, provision coverage. So in efficiency wise and ROE, ROA, we are the best in the industry. As you all know that bank has crossed the 10 lakh crore business mark in March 22 and again in June 22. And our performance is consistent and growing. Today exceeds the in parameters like I told you, ROA and ROE, and as well as net interest margins, we are at 3.10%. And the net profit also you have seen, we are at a profit of 1,200 crore. When the banks got amalgamated in 1920, the amalgamated loss was 4,600. Now we are in a profit of 1,200 crore per quarter. So in 2021, we are having a profit of 3,000 crore. In 21-22, we are having a profit of close to 4,000 crore. And now we are close to 1,200 crore per quarter. So bank is growing. And I'm also happy that we are the bank, second times we have given 15 days PLI to all our employees. At the time of amalgamation, we were having 40,000 people. Today also we are close to 40,000. And in the year, we have undertakes one of the largest exercise for recruiting 4,000 persons. Out of this 4,000, around 2,600 already joined. You all know that we have also promoted 3,700 persons last year. So both we are recruiting and also performing people to take care of the higher responsibilities of the bank. I'm sure that with our recruitment and our performance, bank will have adequate manpower to support our business, to support our growth. In HR side also, we have done number of things like in tie up with Practos for online consultation with the doctors for serving as well as retired employees. New HRMS modules. We have recently launched our Pride, where performance driven, to build a performance driven culture in the bank. We have given the target on a scientific basis. Now we are sharing the performance on a monthly basis with all executives, where they stand, where others are, where competition is. So under this performance management system, we will have entirely a transparent system. Everything will be digitized. All your performance will be judged on your actuals and compared with your peers. In addition to that, bank is on a digital transformation journeys. As you know, we have came out with the pre-approved personal loans, then KCC digital renewal, then Mudra. The number of schemes one after other we are on a digital, and shortly we are coming out with more schemes like Mudra loans and all on a digital, because we think that the futures belongs to digital. So bank on a growth path, bank in a digital path, which is the future of a bank. Let me tell you 2-3 things what to do in your career progressions, because most of people are new and you know our average age is 40 years. So to my mind, we should not only remain generalist, we should get little more expertise and do some specialist. So what will happen if you are having better than a journalist? What will get attraction of your supervisor, your attraction of management? Then you will be given, bank will make more investment, you will get more and more confidence in your career and how you will grow. So in addition to remain journalist, let us imbibe some other qualities, whether it is in technology, whether it is in credit, whether it is in foreign exchange, whether it is even in social media, or so that bank will be benefited by your expertise. And second, that because for getting new things, you should have to have a passion. And if you have a paycheck and a passion, both together, naturally you will grow higher and higher. In addition to that, you see we are doing promotions as well as we are growing also. We are growing in our performance. So celebrate your performance, but celebration should be 1 or 2 days, not for a years together you will celebrate. But at the same time, you should not cry for the whole year. Suppose you are not been promoted, you can cry for a 1 day or 2 days, then see what are the weaknesses in me, what are the organization's demands from you, and make yourself prepare and grow. So celebrate performance, even cry for 1 day, and move in the direction of growth. In addition to that, what I want you to avoid complacency, because when you get promoted and we are in a good time, that you should avoid complacency, otherwise there will be a problem in growth. For maintaining consistent performance in your career as well, you need to work hard. If you are complacent and comfortable, then it is a deadly combination, then it is a problem. So if you are comfortable, work hard, because in hard times generally we work hard, but in good times also we have to work hard to maintain our performance. So my request is to work hard, because we are in a competitive era. All banks are growing. Our economy itself is growing. Third thing which I want to tell you, don't remain over-reliance on one customer or one person or one boss. I am telling you why. Because in a competitive area, if the one customer or two customer goes, then your entire projections and your branch performance will be a problem, and your entire career will be a problem. So don't rely on one customer, one performer, because they can let you down also. So rely on more customer, rely on more powers, more manpowers, have network, that will you will grow further in your career. I also request you to watch the competitors' performance. Learn about what the competitors are doing, because sometimes we learn from the competition as well, how they are going, how we are preparing ourselves to remain ahead in the competition. So watch the performance of competitors. Listen what their competitors are doing, because it is required for us to prepare ourselves for the future. I also request you to don't ignore the statistics and the data, because statistics and data will tell you where you are, what is your competitive performance and how you can grow. And in this competitive era you have to watch on data, because now the banking will be data driven. Because we too have started our analytics center for excellence, because what kind of customer need we are having, and we have to offer a product based on the customer need. So don't ignore the data, see the data, get insights from the data, and that way we will be able to offer products according to the need of our customer. In addition to that, I also request you to aware of the social media. Sometimes we are posting any other information to the social media. It goes against the reputation of the bank. So if you have any kind of issues, we are having our own systems, we are having associations, unions, we are having our management system, hierarchy system. So go with that. Your all issues will be sorted out. In spite of giving into the social media unnecessary, you will get nothing but adverse publicity of our beloved organization, which is giving us bread and butter. I make here the special mention of the constructive role played by the associations of Indian Bank and its office bearers. They are always supportive in our growth, and their attitude is always constructive. Not only the bank, for the employees as well, and all their suggestions are being taken care, whether the placements or the transfers. You might have seen the last transfers, or even the compassionate transfers, or the transfers on the space grounds. Everything has been taken care by our HR department, as well as on the advice of our association. I wish all the best and hope that all will bring positive change in the area of customer service in our bank. I wish the conference to a grand success. Thank you.
Comrades, in this great occasion, in the midst of all of us, our Honorable Finance Minister, Sri P.T.R. Payanivel Tyagarajan, with us, we welcome him with our thunderous applause. He is a real banker. Sri Payanivel Tyagarajan began his career in 1990 as an independent consultant in operations and systems improvement. In 2001, he joined Lehman Brothers Holding as trader and co-portfolio manager, firm relationship, loan portfolio. He quit Lehman Brothers Holding as head offshore capital markets in the year 2008. He then worked for Standard Chartered Bank, Singapore, in the Global Capital Market Division. He quit Standard Chartered Bank as Managing Director, Financial Market Sales in the year 2014. Then he started serving the masses of Tamil Nadu and rightly headed the Finance Minister portfolio. This, our association, Silver Jubilee celebration has been inaugurated by none other than former Chief Minister Dr. Kalaignar Karunanidhi. The Diamond Jubilee celebration, our Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, deputed the Finance Minister to greet this occasion. Let us hear from him. I request our Honorable Finance Minister to deliver his address.
இந்த வரலாற்று சிறப்புமிக்க விழாவுக்கு தலைமை விருந்தினராக வந்திருக்கும் திரு சாந்திலால் ஜெயின் அவர்களே, சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்களாக வந்திருக்கும் திரு இம்ரான் அமீன் சித்திகி அவர்களே, திரு அஸ்வினி குமார் அவர்களே, தோழர் முரளி சௌந்தரராஜன் அவர்களே, தோழர் சௌமியா தத்தா அவர்களே, சிறப்பு உரையாற்ற வந்திருக்கும் தோழர் ராம்நாத் சுக்லா அவர்களே, தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி இந்தியன் பேங்க் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் அசோசியேஷனோட தலைவர் மோகன்ராஜ் அவர்களே, பொதுச் செயலாளர் சேகரன் அவர்களே, இந்த விழாவிற்கு வரவேற்பு குழு தலைவர் எஸ்பி சந்திரசேகர் அவர்களே, செயலர் சி விக்னேஸ்வரன் அவர்களே, இங்கே கூடியிருக்கும் இந்தியன் பேங்க் குடும்பத்தின் அனைத்து உறுப்பினர்களே, உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என் சார்பாகவும் முதலமைச்சர் சார்பாகவும் என் வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். In fact, the Chief Minister was very particular, called me twice to make sure that I was attending this program, and I was in Chennai for this program today. As mentioned by the Secretary earlier, the inauguration of this association was done by our great leader, Muttamilar தலைவர் Kalaignar. On that basis, the Chief Minister was very keen that our association with the staff, the organization should continue, and on that basis he made sure that I was here today. I want to say a few things from a broader perspective
how we do, what we do, why we do as a government, and why the banks in general and banks like Indian Bank that were born in Tamil Nadu and have a big share of their business in Tamil Nadu are so important to us. If you look at the traditional definition of financial institutions, banks fall into the category financial intermediaries. That is, they intermediate between the savings, the transfer of money across time that individuals, families, associations require, and the demands of the capital from the borrowers, who are the governments, government entities, private sector entities, entrepreneurs, partnerships, etc. That's the job of a bank at the core, at the theory. But if you take that definition and look around the world, places like the United States, more than 80% of all credit, starting with overnight deposits, trillions of dollars, all the way to perpetual bonds or equity, 80% of these will be transacted through the public markets, and hardly 20% will go through the banks. As you start moving to Europe, then Asia, Japan, you start coming this way, that ratio changes dramatically. If you come to a country like India, less than 20% of the total capital will be met through the markets, and 80% will be intermediated through the banks. Now, there are many reasons for this. One of the main reasons being that we don't have the underpinnings, the infrastructure in the dispute resolution system, in the documentation system, in the market underpinnings or infrastructure. And therefore, the role of the banks is very important. In fact, when I was at Standard Chartered, which was the first time I had worked in emerging markets, till then I had only worked in advanced markets, in developed economies. We had a rule of thumb that in any country, if we expected the GDP growth, because Standard Chartered was mostly an emerging market bank, we had a rule of thumb that any country, if we expected GDP growth to be X, we should expect the credit book to grow 2X, and we should plan our capital, etc., accordingly for the appropriate ratios. Because growth in emerging markets is largely dependent on credit and bank credit at that. So that is the understanding that I came to this office with when the Chief Minister asked me to take over as Finance Minister. One of the first things I did was ensure that I myself attended every single state-level bankers committee meeting and got engaged in the actual mechanics and the processes of what was happening, because I understand the value of the banks. This is an unusual process. I can assure you that at best IAS officers used to go. But since our government came, I personally attend every SLBC meeting. And we get into great level of detail, program by program, district by district. And I have been requesting, some like Thiru Shantilal Jain may say, instigating several improvements in data collection, in frequency, in granularity that we use as the basis for the SLBC meetings. Because when the government and the banks work together, whether that's the union government, the state government, joint programs between both of us and the banks, then the amplifier effect, the accelerator effect that we can bring to economic growth is very, very high and very valuable. So I recognize that, I work on that. In particular, at all these banks, I have said, at all these meetings, I have said exactly what Thiru Jain has said here, which is that banks need to diversify their books. In this country, we have spent too much of the last few decades giving too much credit to too few people, and therefore having concentrated risk that turns out to create all kinds of problems. You see, banks are not inherently in the long-term lending business, or they should not be. Anybody who studies finance from a technical perspective, all banks have a basic asset liability duration mismatch. Your deposits are largely short-term deposits or demand deposits. If you start lending to 30-year projects, 50-year projects, 15-year projects, you have a basic problem. Your assets and liability duration are significantly mismatched, and no matter how many guarantees are there, no matter how much Reserve Bank protection is there, this is not a sustainable business model. That's why long-term lending should be done through other mechanisms, 15-year, 30-year bonds, through secured lending, through infrastructure, cash flow-based trusts, and so forth. In fact, those have not been observed at all. Nationalized banks have been put on the hook by politicians and ended up taking huge concentrations in projects that prudence would not have suggested, and ended up bearing the consequences of these. And we see the big NPA book that still continues after a lot of attempts at resolution. This has to change. For this reason, I have been saying at every SLBC meeting that banks need to leverage technology to reduce the cost of KYC, to reduce the cost of tracking, continuity, and to greatly diversify your books to the MSME sector, to individuals, to entrepreneurs, above and beyond what the government programs ask you to do. That is good for the bank, it is good for society, it is good for economic growth, it's good for employment. So I'll reiterate that here, exactly what Jain said. Don't concentrate, though it's easier to give a known credit risk and easier to pass that in committee and easier to increase the allocation to that credit, prudent banking as well as nation building requires that you diversify the book, you bring on board many more customers, you use technology, you use the increasing connectivity of data systems to make the KYC easier and to do the credit checks faster and better and diversify your book. One of the big differences I noticed after having been a banker in international markets when I came here was the lack of transparency within the banking system about each other's books. You see, even that 20% of the credit market that was within the banks, much of that was done in syndicated lending. And what syndicated lending does, it allows the banks to help each other monitor risk, to diversify, to make sure that your single borrower limits are not breached, and to have greater transparency into what is happening with every borrower, every major loan. I always felt that the RBI itself didn't do nearly as good a job as the Federal Reserve in the US, or the Bank of England in the UK, or the ECB, or even the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS. But one thing I like a lot, which I learned today, is this AIBOC. Because I think what the AIBOC can do is substitute a bit for this lack of a formal syndication and bank association database. And the power that comes from integrating all the different bank employees associations, I think, is enormous and will serve you well. So I'm very happy to note that this All India Bank Officers Conference or Confederation is very active and is represented well here today. I know these are difficult times. Very often we find in public policy that suddenly everybody wants to bolt the barn door after the horses have run out. And when a crisis happens, very often it is not truly analyzed and the right modifications or right corrective actions are taken, but the easy ones, the ones that make it look like something is happening, when in fact the root cause and the corrective action may not be linked together at all. I can give you many examples, not unique to banks, not unique to finance. Government policy tends to be a bit knee-jerk and driven by politics and perception. That's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. In that context, you must assume that the pressure on banks, particularly public sector banks, will continue to increase. But I would urge you to use technology and communications as your first safeguard. There's going to be tremendous revolution in retail banking, payments, in transfers. It's already happening. FinTech is upon us. It's only going to accelerate. These are things that can help safeguard you from unwarranted intrusion. And at some level, as we have seen in the world, there are some banks that are too big to fail. There are some corporates that are too big to allow to collapse. And once an organization becomes integral to the system, then the political pressures on it reduce a lot. So broadly, I will tell you that you should embrace technology as far as possible and use it as a strengthener to your activities rather than see it as a threat. Because the revolution is upon us. The technology is going to descend on this sector as in many other sectors, whether we like it or not. And those that can harness it for their benefit will stand a much better future than those who see it as a threat and try to prevent it from happening. So with those few ideas based on my personal experience, let me reiterate again both the Chief Ministers and my felicitations for this to be a successful conference, a celebration of the Diamond Jubilee and the 7th Triennial Conference of this association, of the long history of the bank. I wish you the best, not just for today, but for the future of the bank and for all your careers. I thank you once again for inviting me and giving me this opportunity, and I will close my remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the enlightening address. The true leader makes each team member twice the person they were before. Now, we request our empowering leader, Executive Director of Indian Bank, Shri Imran Amin Siddiqui sir, to address the gathering.
Welcome and good morning. Honorable Finance Minister, Tamil Nadu Government, Shri Tyagarajan ji, MD and CEO, Shri Shanti Lal Jain ji, my colleague on the board, Executive Director Ashwini Kumar ji, General Secretary IOBOC, Comrade Swami Datta ji, President AIBOC, Comrade Murli Soundarajan ji, President AIIBOA, Comrade Ramnath Shukla ji, Secretary General AIIBOA, Comrade R. Shekharan, President AIBOC, S. Mohan Raj ji, other dignitaries on the dais, general managers, other executives, and my dear colleagues. I am really honored to be part of this Diamond Jubilee celebration and triennial conference of IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. So, sometimes back, one young leader was giving a slogan, association ka nara hai, bank bachao, bank bachao. With this kind of committed and young and energetic workforce, do we need that? Because for the last 2 years, more than 2 years and 1 quarter, after amalgamation, you people are giving fantastic results. So bank already bacha hua hai. I want to modify it. Association का नारा है बैंक बढ़ाओ बैंक बढ़ाओ. एक बार लगाओ जरा. Slight digression, because Honorable Finance Minister was having a limited time. I am really thankful that he came here and addressed our people. So, we have got a very, very energetic, committed and competent workforce. So, I am very sure going forward, we are going to deliver this kind of results only. In this March, we reached a major milestone. We crossed a figure of 10 lakh crores. My congratulations to one and all. You people really deserve appreciation for reaching this milestone. Now, we are in category of large bank, and now it is a responsibility of one and all to sustain that position. MD and CEO has almost covered everything. When he was speaking, I was thinking at least he will leave something for us to speak. But from business to performance management to digital, I think he has covered everything. Only few things, few points I would like to tell you people. Because, as Finance Minister was telling, the credit growth should be 2x of the GDP growth. And what is our GDP growth and projection for future is around 7%. So, ideally our credit growth should be 14%. And the market is growing almost at that pace. If you see the numbers of other major public sector bank or private sector banks, their credit growth is almost around 13 to 14, 15%. So, this is an area where we need to focus more. We are having all kind of infrastructure available. We are having processing centers like RAPC, MAPCs. Then we are having large corporate branches, mid corporate branches to further our credit growth. Our credit growth needs a bit attention of everyone to better the performance of our beloved organization in future. We have spent a lot on creation of digital assets and digital functionalities. As MD was telling, we have come up with many products and all. But first and foremost important thing is digital adoption of first all the employees of the bank, then all the customers of the bank. If we create so many assets and so many functionalities, if there are not people to use them, then what is the use of creating that? So, a little attention at the level of each and every individual will onboard majority of the customers on digital platform, and that will not only improve the customer experience, but that will free your time from routine work. If the transactions are being done on digital platform, then footfall in the branches will reduce, and you people get free time to do other developmental works. Then one more thing which I want to flag, because we have achieved a 10 lakh crore number. Moreover, we are giving profit, good profit quarter after every quarter. But the performance should come from all the units. The number of contributing unit need a little improvement, because as on date also our more than 60% branches are negative in various parameters. So if these branches also contribute, you imagine where we will reach. So my request is that all the officials should make all the efforts to make all the unit contributing for the growth of the organization, for betterment of the organization. And from our side, though I always tell nobody is management and nobody is employee, because we all are working for the betterment of the organization in the role which we have been given to perform in the bank. So you are doing the same thing. You are doing the work for growth of the organization. Similarly, we are doing whatever we are doing for the growth of organization only. But still, what is there in our hand and what is feasible for the benefit of the and welfare of the officer, the present management is committed to do that. I won't take much time. I am again thankful to the Officers Association for inviting me to be part of this Triennial conference. I, from my heart, pray for the success of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request all the comrades to sit on their places and pay attention to the leaders. We are going to continue our felicitation. Now it's time to felicitate our veteran leaders of IBOC and Fraternal Association leaders. We are going to felicitate. We request Comrade Sekharan sir and Comrade Mohan Raj sir. We request our comrades to maintain silence. Comrade C. Sundararajan, former President, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondi. We request you to felicitate, sir. Comrade K. Rajendran, Comrade K. Rajendran, former President, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondi. Comrade R. Sridharan, former General Secretary, IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondi. Comrade Rajagopal Reddy, former President, AIIBOA. Comrade Deepak Samant, former Director, former President, AIIBOA. Comrade Jyotirmay Roy, former President, AIIBOA. Comrade Kuppaswamy, AIIB, Para, General Secretary. Comrade Surya Narayan Murthy, President, AIIB, PARA. Comrade Anand Rao, former General Secretary, AIABOA. Comrade Jyotirmay Roy, former President, AIIBOA. Comrade Bishwaranjan Ray, former General Secretary, AIABOA, Eastern Unit. Comrade Arunachalam, IBEU, General Secretary. Comrade Venugopal, IBEA, Tamil Nadu. Comrade Venugopal. Comrade K. Babu, General Secretary, All India IB, SC and ST Employees Welfare Association. Comrade Balaji, General Secretary, SBI OA.
May I have your attention, please? Comrades, may I have your attention, please? We are felicitating our veteran leaders. So let's give them a huge round of applause and respect them. AIBOC Zindabad! AIBOC Zindabad! AIBOC Zindabad!
Comrade Bhavani Shankar Mishra, President, IOB Officers Association. Comrade Prem Kumar, President, AIBOC, Tamil Nadu. Comrade K. Chandrasekharan, former President, AIIBOA. Comrade MSK Rajan. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. If I went to work, the first thing I'd do is join a union, said Franklin Roosevelt. The hope always prevails among the officers' fraternity on AIBOC. Now we request our comrade Murali Soundarajan, President AIBOC, to deliver his address.
Respected Sri Shantilal Jain, Managing Director and CEO of Indian Bank, Executive Directors Sri Imran Amin Siddiqui and Ashwini Kumar, beloved Comrade Soumya Datta, General Secretary All India Bank Officers Confederation, Sri Ramnath Shukla ji, President All India Indian Bank Officers Association, Comrade Mohan Raj, President, my comrade in arms, Comrade R. Shekaran, General Secretary Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry Unit and Secretary General of the Federation, Comrade H.P. Chandrasekhar, Chairman Reception Committee, Sri Vigneshwaran, Secretary Reception Committee, Office Bearers of the Federal Units, Office Bearers of affiliates of All India Bank Officers Confederation, and veteran leaders who laid the foundation and strengthened the foundation of the organization in the yesteryears, who have braved the age and come here. My pranams to you and salutation to the comrades. It is indeed a great pleasure and a blessing to be amongst you on this auspicious occasion of the 7th Triennial, which coincides with the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Confederation. It's a sheer coincidence that as I race to complete my 60 years, this organization also is entering into the 60th year of its foundation. Indian Bank in this part of the country evokes a great sense of awe and inspiration among the public and employees as well as the peers. I hail from Indian Overseas Bank. And in fact, when we talk about Chennai, two institutions always comes to the memory of every one of us. If you ask anyone of the public about name two institutions of repute here, obviously the answer Indian Bank and Indian Overseas Bank. This Indian Bank has built a reputation of its kind over a period of past 100 years. The legacy as the Indian nation has gained strength since its independence, it's no wonder this great institution, which has been founded on 15th August, has also progressed and gained strength in the years it had functioned while serving public. We had a very enterprising address of the Honorable Finance Minister of Tamil Nadu, Dr. P.T.R. Palanivel Thiagarajan, who has succinctly dealt with the fundamentals of a successful retail banking, which Indian Bank has been successfully practicing over a period of time. Comrades, any institution, when we talk about the prominence, the strength it had gained, obviously has undergone a period of hurdles also, and Indian Bank is no exception. In fact, the sagacity of the yesteryear leaders of the Indian Bank Officer Association by entering into a successive MOU with the management in forsaking their benefits. It's a very hard call for any trade unionist when we surrender the hard-earned benefits, but the sagacious leadership at that point of time had the priorities right. They thought our benefits are not important. The existence of the mother institution is very important. In that manner, they have progressed, and their faith on the membership were paid rich dividends when the bank regained prominence and became one of the pioneers of the banking institutions of South India. In fact, it is a pearl of South India, I should say, both IOB and Indian Ocean. When I talk about Indian Bank, I cannot escape talking about Indian Overseas Bank also, because we have a common legacy, because our founders and the founders of Indian Bank who run, the principal people who have pushed the bank forward are only cousins. So obviously, in fact, any discussions we go with our management, the obvious questions is what is Indian Bank paying to its employees? So the benchmark for us has always been the best practices of Indian Bank. So it is no wonder this bank, which is rich confidence on the employees, has reaped enormous dividends and has gained the strength it currently occupied. Of course, the merger of Allahabad Bank with it on 2020 has added to its strength, and the synergies it has gained has contributed richly. When somebody says they have almost had a quarterly net profit of 1,200 crores, it is a matter of great satisfaction and probably the rich dividend to the hardworking employees of Indian Bank. In fact, I had been a member of the committee which oversaw the merger of the two major affiliates of IBOC, Allahabad Bank Officer Association, Indian Bank Officer Association. And I should compliment Comrade Anandarao and Comrade Sekharan for the enormous patience they had, for the enormous understandings they exhibited, and the sagacious leadership of both of them saw in the seamless merger of both the associations. And today we are having a proud privilege of in the 13 units functioning in a very coherent manner, so you're contributing enormously to the growth of the bank. Comrades, it is with great satisfaction that I am here to address probably one of my last appearances as the President of All India Bank Officers Confederation, and I should thank Comrade Sekharan for the enormous support he has always given to us in catapulting me as the President of the All India Bank Officers Confederation. My due gratitude to you. I use this occasion to express my gratitude to Comrade Sekharan and the affiliate All India Bank Officers Confederation for the support they had extended to me in all these years of my functioning as the President of All India Bank Officers Confederation. Comrades, while we think of merger, though in 2020 All India Bank Officers Confederation did not support the merger because it would ultimately lead to the closure of the branches and the loss of employment opportunity to the future generation. In fact, our suspicions came right because Jayant Shah panel headed parliamentary panel itself had commented that the merger of the public sector bank has contributed in a little manner to the banking public. We could see the merger of the public sector. When we talk about financial inclusion, the merger resulted in the closure of around 3,000 plus branches of the public sector banks of the country. Anyway, we have progressed further. The merger has taken place. The movement has taken forward because we can't fight with the system. We have to solidify ourselves to make the challenges we face in the future to be much meaningful. And All India Bank Officers Confederation, under the leadership of indomitable Comrade Soumya Datta, has embarked on a very, very ambitious mission of solidifying the public opinion against the impertinent and ill-placed moves of the government of India towards privatization of the two public sector banks of the country. Thank God they have not specified the names of the public sector banks which are to be placed under the acts of the privatization. We have built a movement where we realized that this movement against the moves of the privatization is not for the employees, it is for the public of the country. As the financial warriors of the important financial sector in the country, we have taken upon ourselves the onerous task of building a mass public opinion against the moves of the government of India towards the privatization. And we have launched a dedicated Facebook social media campaign, occupies a very important critical component of molding a public opinion. And realizing this, we have launched a dedicated Facebook page of Bank Bachao, Desh Bachao. We have more than 250,000 following. I think that the sensitization we have embarked has paid rich dividends so far, as the government has deterred it on its move to introduce the legislative reforms in the parliament which will enable the privatization. We have been so far successful in stonewalling the moves. We always believe that what the parliament can do, the streets can undo. And the farmers' movement of the country has probably given a lot of hopes to the agitating masses of the country that united you stand, nothing can dismantle the cause which you have taken upon yourself. So we move forward and the battle is just started. We can't, as MD was saying in his address, that there is never a moment we can rest on our oars, as the days ahead are challenging, the days ahead are daunting. But All India Bank Officers Confederation, with extreme confidence on the members, I have a resolve which is very firm and unshaken that united we stand, nothing can dismantle our resolve and award objective of safeguarding the public sector banks of the country. We move forward, comrades, with our heads held high and our cause being more holy, that nothing can dismantle the public sector banks of the country, which has enormously contributed to the nation building, which has provided huge employment opportunity to the hitherto neglected sections of the society, which has successfully contributed to the financial inclusion of the country. And name any sector of the country where the role of the private public sector banks are in the forefront for us to witness that the role of the public sector banks has been very phenomenal in the nation building of the country. In fact, name any premium flagship programs of the country, Jan Dhan program, Aadhaar, the only public sector banks or the primary delivery mechanism of the successful poverty alleviation program, successful financial inclusion programs of the country. With these few words, I thank All India Bank Officers Confederation for the opportunity provided to me to share my thoughts, and I am very confident that deliberations in the business session will be fruitful, which will be path-breaking. I wish you all the best. Thank you, comrade. Thank you.
Comrades, I understand after seeing your friends across the state, you are exchanging the pleasantries. But in the inaugural session, we have invited the bank leaders and the industry leaders. They are sharing their thoughts about the industry and bank. Let us all hear from them. Please maintain silence, comrades.
A small announcement. Comrades, those using Android phones, kindly download Facebook Lite app and keep yourself logged in. Our volunteers will be approaching to like our Bank Bachao Desh Bachao Facebook page. A good leader is a person who takes more than his share of the responsibility and a little than of his share in credit. We are pleased to welcome Comrade Somay Datta, General Secretary IBOC, to deliver his address. Comrades, please give a round of applause for welcoming Comrade Somay Datta.
Very good morning to all of you. It's a proud privilege for me to address this Diamond Jubilee celebration of Indian Bank Officers Association, the 7th conference, and I'm really happy to share stage with our MD sir, who has been very kind enough. He said that, Swamiji, I have urgent appointments, but I want to leave after I hear your speech. So that's so kind of you. Respected Janab Imran Ali Siddiqui ji, बरसों से उनके साथ we have a very good friendship. ED Ashwini sir, my president, Comrade Murali, of course the man of the moment, Comrade R. Sekharan, General Secretary of both the Federal IBOA as well as the state of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, esteemed seniors. I mean, I'm so happy to see all the leaders of both All India Indian Bank Officer Association, All India Allahabad Bank Officer Association present here. My very good friends, I cannot take individual names. I'm so happy to see that Comrade Deepak ji has reduced so much. Anand ji has reduced. I mean, I don't know. Deepak ji said that I have reduced to increase my appetite for updation of pension. I still remember the words of Comrade Rajendran. That is the best ever compliment that I got. You, as a leader, you are used to having brickbats and bouquets. But the best compliment ever I have received after becoming General Secretary of All India Bank Officers Confederation, he said, after a long time I feel that somebody from a public sector bank, not State Bank of India, is leading AIBOC. That is the best ever compliment I feel, that they thought, for reasons I think best known, that they thought that whoever represents ISBOF, they are, having a certain bias. In fact, my federation leaders, there are some of them present, they accuse me that you are focusing more on AIBOC than our federation. In fact, when our slogan is Bank Bachao, Desh Bachao, some of the leaders say that pehle federation bachao, uske baad bank bachao. So I am so happy to welcome Comrade Pillai, State Secretary, Comrade Balaji, General Secretary of SBI Chennai, Vice President of AIBOC, and incoming Chairman of All India State Bank of SBOF, Comrade Prem, and host of others, the seniors, the senior pensioners and comrades who have come from the state of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. I'm so happy, to be here to address this meeting. I'll share a I'll start off with an incident that happened day before yesterday. Wherever I go, like Comrade Anand Rao is wearing this mask, I always wear this mask whenever I'm traveling. Bank Bachao, Desh Bachao, we oppose bank privatization. I was on an Indigo flight from Bhopal to Hyderabad. It was an ATR. The seat next to me was vacant. The air hostess who was serving me, she came to me and suddenly whispered, "Sir, are you from State Bank of India?" I said, "Why?" She said, "My sister is also working in State Bank of India. Every day she wears this mask." And she said, "I am also supporting this movement." So that's what Comrade Murali said, Bank Bachao, Desh Bachao. This slogan is from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Ahmedabad to Aizawl. Everybody, our Facebook page, 50% of them are non-bankers. And when we hear politicians shouting the slogan, Bank Bachao, Desh Bachao inside the parliament, that reverberates across the country, then we feel that we have achieved something. It was the only reason, the reason of our Bharat Yatra that we took from Calcutta and from Mumbai. We reached Delhi from 24th November 2021. We reached Jantar Mantar on 29th, 30th November. We had a meeting. At that time, banking amendment bill was listed. And we gave a clear call to the government. If this bill is passed, we will be approaching each and every voter of UP, each and every voter of all the states that goes for election, and we will be campaigning like what we did in West Bengal. And the government, when we were on a yatra, right from Prime Minister's office, call came to IBA chairman, call came to State Bank of chairman. What is this AIBOC? Who is Soumya Datta? Is he a communist? He must be a communist. He's from Bengal. Then Rajkiran Raiji, he was at that point of time, he was heading Union Bank of India. They said, no, AIBOC is an independent trade union. It is no connection with any political party, and Soumya Datta is a trade union. He has got no political connections. And they said, then why are so many people on the streets? Then they explained that it is a movement across the country. And we bankers we are connected with 120 crore of the population. And if we approach each and every customer, it will be reflected in the EVMs. That the government took notice and the bill was never tabled. Now, again we have built up a movement, Bank Bachao, Desh Bachao Abhiyan, across the states. When this monsoon session was on, at least 6 states conducted such rallies. And the momentum was built up. This session also the bill was not listed. Electricity Amendment Bill was also not listed. But they suddenly brought the Electricity Amendment Bill with 1 day's notice. So let us not be complacent. Some people are congratulating ourselves. Like the Minister of State has given a statement, there will be no bank privatization. Don't feel happy. You have to read between the lines. He said there will be no bank privatization. Within brackets, like this, the small, corrigendums at the bottom, as of now. You have to understand, there will be no bank privatization. You have to read what he didn't say, as of now. So let us focus on our movement, because this is a movement that is not only to protect the public sector banks, to ensure that banking service, it is a fundamental right. For the legal implications, the public sector banks are entities under Article 1962 of Indian Constitution within Article 12, and they are deemed to be an arm of the state as their instrument in promoting the welfare role in the directives principles, most specifically in Article 38(1). I was on a TV debate the other day at Rajasthan. When somebody said, "Aapko kya lag raha hai?" I said, "It is constitution is being violated. संविधान को उल्लंघन कर रहा है अगर ये privatization हो जाए." So we said that somebody was advocating for private sector bank. Look how efficient we are. I said that, look, you may be having an account with a private sector bank. You can quote unquote, you can of course say that they are efficient. As long as we are there, your deposit is safe in the private sector banks. Tomorrow if your bank goes bust, it is only the public sector banks can come to your rescue and protect your money. So as long as we are there, you are there. If public sector banks are not there, tomorrow your deposits will be at risk. Let us understand that. For the politicians, I was discussing with our Honorable FM of the state that the pillars of the constitution is social justice. The reservation of SC, ST, OBCs and EWs will not happen if the public sector banks are not there. Sasti banking, which is a fundamental right, banking at a very lesser cost, that can only be provided by public sector banks. And look at the Jan Dhan accounts. I have the latest data. 46.25 crore of Jan Dhan accounts. Out of that private sector bank share is only 1 crore 31 lakh. Any scheme, our MD sir knows, ED says no. Any scheme of the government, 95% of the scheme is implemented by the public sector banks and regional rural banks. So whenever they go to a meeting, I'm certain the DFS office bearers, the secretaries, they talk about cost to expense ratio. Look, you are inefficient. But they never talk about social profit that we are doing by implementing the schemes, implementing the, that the demand is created by passing on benefits to the poorest of the poor. That is the role we are playing. Look at the NPS. Whenever we talk of cost to expenses ratio, every bank talks about that. What is the amount of written off? Recovery is only 33%. For every 100 rupee loan that we give to corporates, only 33 rupees is recovered. 67% haircut. हमको haircut नहीं कहते, ये गर्दन काट है. You are just गर्दन काट हो रहा है. ये haircut नहीं हो रहा है. ये गर्दन कट हो रहा है. You are just chopping off the body and give a few pieces of hair. That is happening across the country. So we have to protect our banks. We have to make our banks grow. We will be providing service. We will upgrade ourselves, upskill ourselves. We have to make our banks grow. If the bank grows, the trade union will grow. We have established in the COVID times what public sector banks are capable of. Not a single customer complaint had come during demonetization or the COVID times, right sir? Not a single customer complaint was received by any public sector bank during that difficult period. Because we proved our worth to the customers, 120 crore of the customers. Now, today's situation is different. We have a government at the center which is trying to throttle our voices. There is no board director or member either from the officers or from the workmen. There should be no voice of dissent in the bank's board. Even in the public domain, if you stand by the farmers, you will say that I am an anti-national. I took part in the farmers' movement. We extended support. I squatted on the roads of Calcutta and I was told on social media, look, he is an anti-national. Now, look at the difference. Before 1947, when the indigo cultivation was on, Mahatma Gandhi ji went to Bihar, stood by the farmers who cultivated indigo in 1917. British government never even asked, ye sawal kabhi nahi uthaya. ये गुजरात के एक वकील क्या कर रहे हैं बिहार में? They never asked what a lawyer from Gujarat was doing in Bihar. But today if you go and stand by the students, today if the railways stand by the bankers, they said, what is your connection with the bankers? You must be anti-national. So that is the threat, that is a sustained movement, not to, have a collective. There is no opposition. There is no unity amongst opposition. Railways are fighting their own battle. Telecom is fighting their own battle. Oil is fighting their own battle. We are fighting our own battle. But our Bank Bachao Desh Bachao movement is not only save the banks, it is trying to unite the entire voices against privatization. So that is why our comrade Ravi has come all the way from Calcutta. He is approaching each and every one of you. He has that focus. He is obsessed. He will take your mobile, make you download Facebook Lite, like our page and send invitations to all. That is the way, new form of signature collection against privatization. This is a new form of signature collection, building public opinion against privatization. So let us keep on fighting our battles. And I'm very happy to share with MD sir, Indian Bank is my family bank. It is the bank where I opened my first savings bank account in 1979 at Garihart branch in Kolkata. I still maintain that account. The original account was 5244. Now every time I call up Shovik or Pritam, can you tell me the balance? I have to furnish the interest certificate. I still maintain that account. It is my family bank. It is a bank where I opened my account in 1979. I'm still maintaining the account. The bank has been awarded the best bank in the country. हमें बेहद गर्व महसूस हुआ सर जब हमने देखा ये you are taking the awards from Honorable FM. So this is the bank as Murali said, the jewel of South India is not South India. It's the jewel of India. It has become the Kohinoor of the country. Because of your dedication and service, because of the vision of the leaders, we consider ourselves to be a part of the family. We are all leaders. Be it in the management, be it in the association. We are all leaders. We are here to make our bank grow. We are here to make our people's, our members stronger. And with MD sir here, I have asked him about 4 personal, requests, which as a member of the management committee, I said, sir, kindly ensure the IBA recommends 5-day week, 5-day work week. In the last meeting held on 1st of July, we said, IBA said, if we want to give you 5-day work week, we have to tell DFS something. We said that officers are working 10 to 12 hours a day. For us, it does not matter if the business hours increase from between 9:45 and extends by half an hour till 4:30. You reduce the cash transaction hour. We have absolutely no issue. We are open. But kindly from IBA, kindly recommend that 5-day work week should be recommended to DFS. Our stagnation increments explanation has not come. Sir has to take it up. Our LFC clarification has not come up. And above all, the vacation policy of 10 days for sensitive posts, that should be outside our leave quota. Sir has kindly consented that he will be taking up the matter. In the next meeting of IBA, which we hope, it will be sometime in September, mid-September, we hope IBA will recommend 5-day week so that we can get our right. Today, the average age of Indian bank officers is 37. 37. Total demographic change has come. Now people say that we don't need the salary revision. Give us 5-day work week so that we can enjoy with the family. Giving 5-day week is not only doing the officers a favor. We want an organization to have a healthy workforce who will remain motivated. 2-day holiday at the end of the week will rejuvenate our workforce. It will bring down the medical expenditure. It will prevent unwarranted things from happening. Like we paid to so many officers who laid down their lives. There are so many young officers suffering from lifestyle diseases. Let us protect our workforce. They are the most important assets of the bank. And for the pensioners, I have a word. We know we are fighting for updation of pension. But let us also understand, if the banking amendment bill is passed, there will never be any pension updation. What is happening in Lakshmi Vilas Bank, the bank management has said, we don't care for the retirees because not a single paisa from our profit and loss account will go to the pension provision because profit belongs to the serving employees. So they have come out with a pension buyout formula. If that is implemented, pension will be frozen for life. If somebody with 20 years of service If I'm drawing say 50,000 rupees, my pension will be 12,000, which will be paid along with my salary, and this will be frozen for life. We cannot let that happen. And to prevent that, we have to stop this banking amendment bill to be passed. So comrade, before I end, November will be the winter session. November will be the time when AIBUC will have a new leadership. I urge upon all of you, whatever movement we have started, irrespective of who is at the helm of affairs, irrespective of who is a general secretary or president, the movement has to go on. The movement has to go on. We will make it sure that it reaches, our Facebook page grows from 2 lakh to 5 lakh on 30th of November. This is a commitment. I want a commitment from you. All of you should ensure that the page should be at least 5 lakh on 30th of November when I lay down my office. Because that is something that will be deep fulfillment, that the movement that we have started throughout the country to protect the identity of the public sector banks, to make, there's a roti kapda makan, just a bijli sadak pani. Banking is also a fundamental right, and all Indians, every citizen should never be deprived of this basic right. On that note, I wish this conference an outstanding success. I want all of you to join me in shouting the slogan, Bank Bachao! Bank Bachao! Bank Bachao! Bank Bachao! Namaskar.
Thank you, Comrade General Secretary. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into the reality. Now we request Shri Ashwani Kumar Sir, Executive Director of our bank, to address the gathering.
Respected MD and CEO, Shri S.L. Jainji, my colleague on the board, Shri Imranji, Comrade Ramnath Shukla, President AII BOA, Comrade R. Shekaran, Secretary General AII BOA, Comrade Sundar Rajan T, President IBOC, Comrade Soumya Datta, General Secretary IBOC, Comrade S. Mohan Raj, President IBOA, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, General Managers, Executives of the Bank, Office Bearers of the Association from the various parts of the country, and members of the Indian Bank Officers Association, Tamil Nadu, Pondi, and all our retired staff members present here today. Vanakkam and very good afternoon to all of you. Let me share you that I am very delighted to participate in the 7th Triennial Conference and Diamond Jubilee celebrations of IBOA and address this august gathering. First of all, before starting further, I would like to compliment all our colleagues, all our IBNs, all our members for having a milestone figure of 10 lakh crore business during March 22 and also sustaining that in June 22. That's a wonderful achievement by all the units put together. My compliments to the entire team here. I also compliment the entire team, all members endeavor will help us in progressing further. I also compliment you for the PLI of 15 days given by the bank, and this is ours is the second bank only in the industry who has given PLI of 15 days after State Bank of India. So my compliments, and I appreciate the contribution made by all of you for the in the growth of the bank. And many of you might be knowing and may not be knowing, our Imran sir has received one award, Best Bank Award, for the year 2021 on behalf of the bank from the hands of our Honorable Finance Minister. So the team Indian Bank, the brand Indian Bank is rocking and will continue to rock in the times to come. This all is possible and will continue to be possible only and only with the contribution and the contribution of each one of the members of the Indian Bank family. And in this regard, I appreciate and compliment the role of the association also, acknowledge the role of the association, All India Indian Bank Officer Association. They played a very vital role achieving all these milestones during the last year and in earlier years. And I believe that the association and the management will continue to work together for the growth of the bank and for the growth of the employees in the days to come. At corporate level, I am happy to share that we continue to have a very good relation with the association, and associations are always there with us for the cause of their employees, and we also take care whatever the genuine issues are there, we try to resolve and give the benefits whatever possible in our hands. Well, as MD sir has already shared many thoughts about the business, about the performance and the initiatives the bank is taking, maybe HR initiative, digital initiative and the PMS pride also he has shared. So I will not develop on all those areas. You all know that how the bank is progressing. Only one thing I would like to highlight and request all the members gathered here that if you are tracking the quarterly results and if you are tracking the data published by Reserve Bank of India on a fortnightly basis, the growth of the industry in the credit is in double digit and we are in the lower single digit. So that is causing a concern to the bank currently. My appeal and request through this forum, through the members of the association, to the leaders of the association, to all our employees, let us come forward and see that we are not left behind in the growth in the times to come. So I would request to extend all wholehearted support for the cause of the bank by all the employees during this period. During this year, we have already completed transfer process, and so far as whatever feedback I have received, I must compliment our GM CDO Mr. Dhanraj for giving a, I will say that a very transparent and what I'll say. See, he has not caused any hindrance or not caused any problem for all the officers. He has been giving very comfortable posting so far as the feedback I have received in comparison to the earlier years. So I would request now all the officers who have joined their new place of postings to contribute in that remaining period for this current financial year. We have already inducted 2,500 new staff strength during this current financial year. And if you are tracking social media, there is a news going on in that there is one nationalized bank. They have not inducted any new staff for the last 3 years. And 5,000 people have retired. So we at Indian Bank are taking care of the staff requirement as well. Wherever there is a need, we are inducting fresh blood also. And with this new blood coming, Indian Bank has become more younger bank than the earlier days with the joining of these new recruitees. Well, another important thing which I would like to highlight and share with you, that one common fear amongst the staff is the staff accountability. Let me assure you, from our level, we are there to committed to take care of all your bona fide actions. Bona fides will be given due protection, and malafide will not be taken lightly. So my request, take your decisions. We are there to protect you, and there will not be any injustice to anybody. In the recent past also, whatever cases are coming, we are trying to resolve and complete all those cases in time so that they don't become hindrance in your career progression. So from this forum, I would request all of you to take decision, take the bank to the newer, greater heights in the times to come, and keep the flag of the Indian Bank very high. My best wishes to all of you and to the leaders for the successful end of the conference, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to felicitate our general managers and zonal managers. I request Comrade Shekaran, sir, to felicitate.
Comrades, please maintain silence when our leaders are addressing you. Now we are going to felicitate our bank leaders and our fraternal leaders. Kindly extend your cheers and applause, comrades.
I request our General Manager Dhanraj sir, General Manager HRM, CDO. I request Mr. Mahesh Kumar Bajaj sir, GM TMO, Marketing, CCD and Digitalization to come forward. Comrades, give a huge round of applause. General Manager Shri Dhanraj sir, GM HRM, CDO. General Manager Rajeshwara Reddy sir, FGM Chennai. Shri Deepthi Srivatsava, General Manager, Planning and Business Intelligence. Madam.
Mr. Steve Bharati, General Manager, Digital Banking Division. Madam Valerie Rath, General Manager, Secretary to MD and CEO and Board. Mr. S. Suresh Kumar, General Manager, Complaints and Chief Compliance Officer.
General Manager Shri Deepak Gupta Sir, GM Estate. Shri Subramanian P, General Manager, Inspection and Audit. Welcome, sir. Shri Chandrasekharan, General Manager, RBD.
Now it's time to felicitate our zonal managers. Shri Mohandas Sir, Zonal Manager, Pundamalli. Comrades, please give a round of applause while we felicitate our zonal managers. Mr. Venkatachalam VM, Zonal Manager, Puducherry. Shri N. Prasanna Kumar, Zonal Manager, Vellore. Now it's time to felicitate General Secretaries and Presidents of our 12 Federal Units of Indian Bank Officers Association. We request our President S. Mohan Raj Sir and our Shekharan Sir to felicitate Comrade C. Sadish, General Secretary, IBOA, AP and Telangana. Comrades, please give a round of applause while we are felicitating our Federal Unit leaders. Comrade P. Chandranayak, President, IBOA, AP and Telangana. Next we call Comrade Krishnendu Mukherjee, General Secretary, West Bengal. Comrade Sanjay Kayar, President. Comrade Saurabh Upatyay, Joint General Secretary, AIIBOA. Comrade Saurabh Upatyay, Joint General Secretary, AIIBOA. Next we welcome Comrade Ravindra Singh, General Secretary, Delhi and Rajasthan. Comrade Ravindra Singh, General Secretary, Delhi and Rajasthan. Followed by Comrade Pavan Kumar, President. Comrades, please give a round of applause. Comrade Pavan Kumar, President, Delhi and Rajasthan. Comrades, please cheer up while we are felicitating our own leaders. Please. Comrade Vinod Kumar, General Secretary, Kerala Unit. Comrade Vinod Kumar, General Secretary, Kerala Unit. Followed by Comrade Anil Kumar, President. Comrade Anil Kumar, President, Kerala Unit. Next we welcome Comrade B.K. Keshava, General Secretary, Karnataka Unit. We welcome Comrade B.K. Keshava, General Secretary, Karnataka Unit, followed by Comrade K. Sriharsha, President of Karnataka Unit. Comrade K. Sriharsha, President of Karnataka Unit. Comrades, please cheer up for our leaders. Next we welcome Comrade Sachin Katiyar, General Secretary of Chandigarh Unit. Comrade Sachin Katiyar, General Secretary of Chandigarh Unit. Followed by Comrade B.R. Chabra, President. Next we welcome Comrade Sanjay Kerala, General Secretary, Bihar and Jharkhand. Comrade Sanjay Kerala, General Secretary, Bihar and Jharkhand. Followed by Comrade Anu Teke, President of Bihar and Jharkhand. Comrade Sanjay Kerala, General Secretary of Bihar and Jharkhand Unit, followed by Comrade Anu Teke, President. Next we welcome Comrade Nan Kishore Parab, General Secretary of Maharashtra Unit. Comrade Nan Kishore Parab, followed by Anand Vengulkar, President. We welcome Comrade Anand Vengulkar, President of Maharashtra Unit. Next we welcome Comrade Sambit K.R. Raut, General Secretary of Odisha Unit. Comrade Sambit K. Raut, General Secretary, Odisha Unit, followed by Comrade B.B. Karan, President of Odisha Unit. Next we welcome Comrade Moses P. Singh, General Secretary, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. We welcome Comrade Moses P. Singh, General Secretary, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, followed by Comrade Dinesh Jha, President of MP and Chhattisgarh. Comrade, please give a round of applause. Comrade Dinesh Jha, President, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Next we welcome Comrade Advait Malhotra, General Secretary, Gujarat. Comrade Advait Malhotra, General Secretary, Gujarat, followed by Comrade Kushal Solanki, President, Gujarat. Next we welcome Comrade Ankur Mishra, General Secretary, UP and Uttarakhand. Comrade Ankur Mishra, General Secretary, UP and Uttarakhand, followed by Comrade Rajavanshi, Vice President. Next, we welcome our DGM, Sri Chandrasekhar Rao, sir, RANGR. DGM Sri Rajsekhar Rao, RANGR. Principal of Image, Sri Balasubramanian, sir. Sri Suresh Shingal, sir, FRMC. We'd like to welcome Comrade Gopalakannan, General Secretary, Tamil Nadu Grama Bank Officers Association. Sri Armugam, sir, DGM Marketing. Comrades, please give a round of applause for all the leaders and zone managers, GMs and FGMs who are being felicitated here. Thank you, comrades. Leaders always choose the harder right rather than the easier wrong. Now we welcome our leader who stands for our rightful demands, Comrade Ramnath Shukla, President AIBOA, to deliver the felicitation address.
Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry Federal Committee Comrade S. Mohan Rajji, respected MD Sri S.L. Jain ji in absentia, Sri Imran Amin Siddiqui Sahab, respected ED, second ED Sri Ashwini Kumar ji, my Secretary General, Comrade R. Sekharan ji, and leaders of the leader Apex, our Apex leader, AIBOC, Comrade Murli Sundar Rajan ji, IBOC General Secretary, Comrade Soumya Datta ji, our veteran leaders sitting in front of the line, respected general managers, dear comrades of other affiliates, leaders, and comrades of our other federal committees from all India, and comrades of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry unit. First of all, I want to congratulate you on this historic occasion of 7th Triennial Conference associated with the Diamond Jubilee celebrations, because this is a real historic occasion. But I think you people are not interested. When there was a delivery, your senior persons were speaking, you were rather interested in talking. So it is very discouraging for any speaker who is on the mic and want to deliver something, but you people are not hearing. You are not clapping when your veteran leaders were being felicitated. You are so thankless that you don't consider that these are the leaders, these veteran leaders who have created the path on which you are walking so easily. You don't know what problem they have faced. They were equally eligible to go to the top positions in the bank. They sacrificed their career, their family life, their own all comforts they sacrificed. Then you people are very easy, enjoying this post, but you are not listening. You are not listening. This is very bad thing. Comrade Soumya Datta was saying, bank bachao, desh bachao, bank bachao, desh bachao. One thing, one should be added, बैंक बचाओ, देश बचाओ, पर सबसे पहले अपने आप को बचाओ. जब तुम ही नहीं बचोगे, तो तुम क्या बैंक बचाओगे, क्या देश बचाओगे? पहले अपने आप को बचाओ. Be disciplined. Have regards for the rules, system and procedures. But you are so casual. You are very casual in your approach. Not only here in the branch you may be casual, in the home you may be casual, and this casualness is causing casualties. So we are responsible organization, we are taking care all of you, but you are not taking care of yourself. That is very bad thing. Learn what your senior pupils are telling you, but you are not interested. Rather you are doing gossip which may be more important than what we are delivering here. So please, listen carefully what your seniors are telling, because they are more experienced than you. You may be more qualified.
but you don't have so experience what these veterans have given to you. So this is a grand occasion. You may talk after conference. In next session you may talk, but first listen what our seniors are saying. So this is a historic occasion, and really we should be thankful to our veterans who has shown us the path. Now it is our duty to maintain and increase the working condition, service condition, maintain the dignity and prestige of the officers for next generation. Otherwise, we will be so selfish that we will enjoy the fruits, what the sampling they have planted, and we will destroy the tree, and next generation will be slave of the corporates. I don't take any name. So please feel your responsibility. What is your duty? Enjoy the fruits, but save for the next generation also what you are leaving to your next generation. So it is very important. Privatization is the biggest challenge. What Comrade Soumya Datta has told, Comrade Molli has indicated, the biggest challenge is we are not considering, many forces are against us, they are doing conspiracy, and we don't feel what trade union, our union is doing. No, just you don't feel gravitational force. But if there will be no gravitational force, your veins will burst and you will die. Similarly, if you will not consolidate yourself, your union will be weakened by your activity, then your service condition, your working condition, your dignity, that will be at stake. The career path, initially you have seen the documentary what was shown to us. Initially there was no career path. It is the association who ensured the career path of an officer must be to the highest level, from officer, scale 1 to scale 7, then executive director, then MD. Once the government tried, many years before, they appointed civil servants to the top level. This was the IBOC who went to the Supreme Court, fought with the government, and ensured that no bureaucrat should be posted at the top post. Our officer from scale 1, he will go. One general manager will become ED, and ED will become general manager. This is the responsibility of the association, and we are doing. But you people are, if not feeling what association is doing, then okay. It is a matter of great satisfaction. Our 2 general managers has been nominated in the ED. Respected Bajaj sir and respected Ahluwalia sir. This gives us a pleasure. Our general manager is going to the highest post. They should move further. So we will be, we were working with Bajaj sir, we were working with Ahluwalia sir. So it gives a pleasure. It is the duty of the association. So please consider what challenges we are facing, how we are facing. First, one thing which was very painful, on vigilance matter, our previous speaker says, we are trying. There is a very thin line between bona fide and mala fide. And your views and our views may be different. What you are thinking mala fide, but we are thinking from officer's view that is most bona fide. And it requires mutual discussion before taking any decision on vigilance matters. In the last meeting, Comrade Shekharan and I discussed with the CVO and Vigilance Department, sir, it is a very sensitive matter. Don't take topmost decisions so easily you are taking. What you are doing. But equally, I want to tell all the officers present in the hall, you should be also very responsible and sensible. Please don't post any sensitive confidential matter in the social media. You are doing harm. We are taking up the matter. You don't know. And we, Shekharan and I can't tell you on mic how we are discussing with Sri Dhanraj sir, how we are solving our problems, how he is very considerate to solve your problems. Yes, when family is weak, there may be problems, may be big, may be numerous, but just wait. We are trying our best. Not only association, but HR department is equally trying. Your hardship may be less. They are doing, but there may be scope for improvement. We will improve further. But be responsible. Tell to your leaders. Your leaders will inform to us, and we will solve with the mutual talking and negotiation. But while posting on social media, be very cautious. Bank is doing every effort to increase the image of the bank, and we are tarnishing our image. So this is not good. And this is an opportunity to celebrate, to see what our veteran leaders have done, what is our role and responsibility. I think in next delegate session, you people will discuss, you will form a unanimous committee, a strong committee, consolidating the Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry unit. And I hope 7th is very important number, because there are 7 continents, 7 wonders, 7 seas, everything is 7. 7 is a very pious number in our Sanatan Dharma, because it is not divisible by any other number except 7. So I think this pious Triennial conference gave us a path, a vision, because this federal unit is most important, because our central office is located here. So we want the Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry unit should be the most vibrant unit, like you people were before. They have shown the path. So please be disciplined, be organized, be united. Thank you, thank you, thank you. AIIBO is Zindabad. AIIBO is Zindabad. IBO Tamil Nadu Zindabad. Our unity Zindabad. Our unity Zindabad. Bank bachao, desh bachao. Bank bachao, desh bachao. Bank bachao, desh bachao. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade President. We believe that the words of our President are taken in right spirit and will be acted. No duty is more important than that of returning thanks. We request Comrade S.P. Chandrasekhar, Treasurer, Indian Bank Officer Association, Tamil Nadu and Pondi, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Dais and audience, good afternoon to you all. I feel honored to propose this vote of thanks on behalf of Indian Bank Officers Association Tamil Nadu on my own behalf. I wholeheartedly thank our chief guest, Sri Shantilal Jain, MD and CEO of our beloved bank, and Honorable Finance Minister of Tamil Nadu State. Thank you very much, sirs, for your valuable time and the inspiring speech. We will always be there in all the endeavors to take our beloved bank and the nation to new heights. I thank the leaders of our national organization, Comrade Murali Soundararajan, President IBOC, and Comrade Soumya Datta, General Secretary IBOC. Thank you very much, comrades. Our organization will be in the forefront in all the organizational activities and efforts in the defense of public sector banking in the country. I thank Sri Imran Amin Siddiqui, and Sri Ashwani Kumar, Executive Directors of our bank. Thank you, sirs, for your time and the message you have given to our comrades. We have our own comrade, President of our All India body, Comrade Ramnath Shukla. Thank you, comrade. You have been a friend and a guiding force to our unit. I thank all the general managers, zonal managers, deputy general managers, assistant general managers, and other executives of our bank for your graceful presence on this occasion. I thank the veterans of our association who have taken pains to come and grace the occasion, and the other veterans who have conveyed their wishes and greetings online. I thank the presidents and general secretaries of other federal units of All India body AIIBOA. I thank the leaders of AIBEA and BEFI in our bank and the leaders of other fraternal organizations who have come and wished us. I also thank the leaders who could not make it here but sent their wishes. I thank the leaders of All India Indian Bank SCST Employees Welfare Association for their presence and wishes. I thank all the known and unknown hands that contributed and made this inaugural session of 7th Triennial Conference and Diamond Jubilee celebrations of our Indian Bank Officers Association a grand success. To sum up, I request one and all to have lunch before leaving. Thank you, sirs and comrades.
Thank you, Comrade Treasurer. Before we conclude, we like to welcome Comrade Krishnendu Mukherjee, General Secretary of West Bengal. I request our General Secretary, Comrade R. Shekharan sir, to felicitate him. Thank you, comrades. Before we conclude, we once again request all our comrades who are using Android phones, please download Facebook Lite app from Google Play Store and logged in. Our volunteers will be approaching you to like our Bank Bachao Desh Bachao page. Lunch is being arranged and we request all comrades to assemble by 2 p.m. for the delegate session. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. Comrades, a small announcement. Table meals is being arranged in the basement and buffet is available in the first floor.